What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a sweet day. I'm Biscuit Dog, and we're playing Gunsmith today. So, this is an interesting game. I haven't played a lot of it, but I've played enough to know it's pretty cool. Castile actually recommended this on Steam, and that's why I got it. So thanks, buddy. I'm having a great time, and it's lots of fun. So it's kind of like Factorio, except you make weapons. You're a black market arms dealer. I don't think you necessarily are a black market arms dealer, but you can be. And that's what I am. In fact, I'm so covert that you can't even see my laptop. Look at that. So the story goes we've inherited our uncle's arms factory, I guess. Right now we're making camo gloves because that's all we can make, but I've got other stuff in the pipeline, you guys. So you start off by having to make camo gloves for pretty much every nation on Earth. If you look at my orders, everybody wants camo gloves. It's crazy. So as you can see here, we've got 240 of 220 camo gloves. We can actually fill this order, but Russia is untrustworthy right now. Okay, we could sell Britain 240 camo gloves here, and that's probably what we're gonna do. We could also sell to America, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Camo gloves aren't really worth that much money, as you can see. 280 sets of camo gloves, we only get $6,000. So there's a lot of work to be done. And if we go down here, there's a couple of orders that have got more than one item in them, like this. You got to sell handguns, 200, but I'm nowhere near producing handguns. All I've got is gloves right now. The vast majority of orders are gloves, as you can see. So how we fill these orders, it's pretty simple. Let's find a good American order here. Can we fill this one? Yes, good. We'll accept that order. We'll go to active orders, and we'll fill the order. Right. So now I've set up our boxes of gloves to slide down this ramp and land on this rack over here. And when you sell them, I think there's 20 pairs of gloves per box. When you sell them, the boxes disappear, which is good, I think, because things could get out of hand. Remember, we're only making gloves here, but you can get up to, like, rockets, jets, tanks. I've seen no evidence of such things, but that's what they say. So I think this could get pretty damn crazy. That's why I say Factorio. There's a lot of stuff to manage once you get all this going. I mean, just to make the camo gloves, this is the production line. And it's pretty vast. Considering the size of our workshop here, I mean, if that's what it takes to make gloves, what's it going to take to make an RPG? It's pretty big. I wish we could zoom out a little more. What's that? Maybe we can make it bigger. Do you wish to purchase this area for $120,000? That's great. We don't need to purchase that area yet. Maybe this is where you'll make jets and tanks and things. Yes, good. Wow, this is a huge warehouse. Anyway, so let's take a look at the gloves production line here. It's no joke. We're dispensing fabric from this dispenser here. How this works is you load up the dispensers with raw materials, and you've got to buy raw materials. I believe that these are our stockpiles of raw materials here. So we've still got quite a lot. Our uncle willed us the factory, and obviously he had some resources left over because we're not running out. I've had to buy fabric, actually, because we're making loads and loads of gloves. In fact, it looks like both of these may be empty, which is not great. Okay, so this is how the gloves work. You dispense fabric from here. It gets cut into the right shape over here. It then gets sewn into a basic glove over here. Then it gets like reinforced with these two sewing machines. Then it gets boxed into boxes of 20. Then it slides down here and stores on this rack. Now I could have built this in any way. I was just kind of testing it out. It's really not that neat, and it takes up almost the entire width of the factory, which is not good. We probably should have built it against a wall. Kind of like they've left all this stuff here for us. That's probably a better orientation for it. But the gloves are up and running. Okay, and then on this side we're producing chunks of plastic which are then being heated here and shaped here and merged with the gloves here in some way. I guess those are like the rubber fingertips or the Velcro straps or something like that. At any rate, you produce all this stuff and then it starts being stored. So as you can see, I really haven't done it that well. It's really messy. I mean, it's a decent production line, but it's totally in the wrong place. And you've got to think about it, because you're going to need to make this stuff kind of all nice and neat, because things are going to get out of hand. Like I said, this is just gloves, and look at the mess I've made. There's all this unused equipment over here that I could have used. To be honest, I didn't actually see it when I was building this. So they start you off over here like this, and tell you to build stuff. There's two dispensers over here. All I needed to do was turn around and hark, look at all this equipment, but I missed it all. That's good though, because now we've got a whole bunch of extra stuff. I think my next step is probably, I'm going to be able to make bullets pretty soon. So I'm researching a bunch of stuff. I think the research is actually done now. What I want to do, I've just researched a metal roll dispenser because I want to make bullets. We need to research a bullet puncher, a bullet extruder, a capper former, a bullet priming machine, a bullet topper, and a bullet boxer. But before we do any of that, we need the bullet production license. And it costs 5 grand and takes 2 days. So let's start that research. In 2 days' time, we'll be able to produce bullets, but we won't have the equipment to do it. So honestly, this looks like a fairly complex game. And if you can go all the way from uniforms to small arms to like machine guns to bulletproof vests and helmets and then onto rockets and tanks and jets, I don't know what this is going to look like by the end, but I surmise it's going to be something like Factorio, which gave me a massive headache because things got completely out of hand. If you like guns and you like management, this is probably the exact right game for you. Like I said, it's pretty early still, but they seem very, very active. They're updating it all the time. They're getting in contact with people, squashing bugs all over the place. So the future looks bright for Gunsmith, you guys. I'm fairly sure by now, if you haven't seen this game before, you know if you're gonna like it or not. Basically, Factorio with guns and crime. What could be better than that? My main gripe about Factorio is it got too crazy, and it was kind of boring. Like, why am I doing this? I don't care that this mine is stuck on a planet and I need to build a rocket. Who cares? I don't. I'm already way more invested in the idea behind this game. We got to make a success of ourselves as a black market arms dealer. What's not interesting about that? That sounds like great fun. Great fun. And just making gloves, I've had a bunch of fun too. Clearly we're out of resources here, so I've also added this thing, which is called a line controller. Very, very useful, because instead of having to switch all of these things off manually, bam, and everything switches off, which is good. So we've run out of fabric sheets, which is a tragedy. What we can do then is click on our resources tab, click fabric sheets. As you can see, we've got 0 plastic blocks or fabric sheets. We're going to need to go to the market and buy plastic blocks and fabric sheets. Let's do it. $1,230 fabric sheets. That should do us for a while. Let's get the same amount. Whoops. 1,640 plastic blocks. Okay, that'll have to do. Good. Okay, now that we've got the raw materials, that should be loaded up, no problem. We can turn this back on. Bam! And we're going to start producing gloves again. So if you look, you see the fabric sheet go into the cutter. Come out as a glove shape. The plastic blocks are being heated and then shaped in this machine. They're being merged over here. They're being sewn together over here. And then they're being boxed over here. You won't see them come out of here for a while, because you need to get 20 before you have a box. If you click on this machine, it should tell us, there we go, 11 camo gloves, 12, 13, 19, and 20. We should produce a box now. There we go. Box of gloves. Nicely done. So that's the basic workflow. Obviously things get way more complicated. The thing that worries me is that this is the simplest item to make, and look how complex the line is. What's a jet line or a tank line gonna look like? It's gonna be insane. So I think this game's got lots of potential, and if you're into games like this, this is a must-buy, man. I'm pretty sure. I'm not really even into games like this, and I'm having a blast, you guys. So I thought I'd show you because it's awesome. Thanks, Castile, for showing me. I appreciate it, guy. Ha! I'm back. Okay, I think I've got it pretty much as compact as I can get it now. It's looking pretty good. It's way shorter than it was before. Almost... It's only using 4 conveyor belts, and that's only because I absolutely have to. But things are working really nicely. You don't need conveyor belts between each machine, as you can see. Stuff's just going directly in one end and pumping out the other end. Like a factory, I guess. So it appears to need a ramp, otherwise it just kind of scatters the stuff everywhere. You can't put like a shelf directly on the end of the machine. It won't work. We need to put some shelves here, though, because this stuff's just going to pile up on the floor. Anyway, this game is full of endless tinkering, you guys. I've been playing for like an hour just to get the gloves machine looking good. So now I've got to tackle bullets and guns and all kinds of other stuff. I'm going to be busy for days in this thing. it's pretty rewarding as well. Like I said, you figure out ways to get more efficient as you go along. You start noticing stuff and wanting to change things, and like you're constantly tinkering. The gloves are almost enough, and there's so much stuff, and it's still in such early. The one thing that I think it's missing is a pause button. I think it's desperately missing a pause button because things are crazy. It gets a bit frustrating not being able to pause it and move your components around. I think that would be great, but other than that, I'm having a blast. I think this game's great. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys did too. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.